Yearly or end-of-season maintenance should include the steps listed in this section, as well as the steps listed in the daily, bi-weekly, and monthly maintenance sections of this manual. Yearly maintenance should be performed at the end of the burning season. Using a 5/16 inch open-end wrench or socket, loosen the 3 screws on the rear of the unit which retain the back panel and left side panel. Pull the side panel away from the stove body, slide backward, and pull the panel away from the stove. You may also wish to remove the rear panel from the stove for easier access, although it is not necessary. Disconnect the venting system from the exhaust blower just enough that you will be able to remove the exhaust blower from the stove. The combustion blower is located on the right side of the stove as viewed from the rear. Disconnect the combustion blower wires from the stove's wiring harness. Loosen and remove the 5/16 inch screw on the top of the exhaust blower output connection, which holds the thermal sensor to the exhaust blower. Loosen the 5/16 inch self-drilling screws which hold the exhaust blower to the exhaust blower tube. The lower screws are most easily accessed through the circular cutouts in the stove body. A 12-inch socket extension will likely be necessary to reach all of the screws. Use a soft paintbrush and carefully remove any ash accumulation from the inside of the exhaust blower and from the exhaust blower fan blades. Dispose of the ash after brushing the blades. With the exhaust blower removed, use a utility vacuum to remove any ash accumulation in the exhaust blower tube. The combustion blower gasket, part number PU-CBG, must be replaced every time the exhaust blower is removed. Using the 5 screws, reinstall the exhaust blower with the new exhaust blower gasket using a 5/16 inch socket wrench with extension. Reconnect the exhaust blower to the stove wiring harness and reattach the thermal sensor to the blower. Reinstall the left side panel onto the stove by first sliding the key slots on the front of the side panel and then by slipping the side panel underneath the loosened screws on the rear of the unit. Open the hopper lid. Using a 5/16 inch open-end wrench or socket, loosen the 3 screws on the rear of the unit which retain the back panel and right side panel. Pull the side panel away from the stove body, slide backward, and pull the panel away from the stove. The convection or room air blower is located on the left side of the stove when viewed from the rear, on the same side of the stove as the control board. The convection blower should be visually inspected for any dust buildup. Any dust that is built up on the fan blades can usually be easily removed with a soft paintbrush, then vacuumed. Reinstall the right side panel onto the stove by first sliding the key slots on the front of the side panel and then slipping the side panel underneath the loosened screws on the rear of the unit. Depending on the type and quality of pellets burned in the stove, some accumulation of pellet fines and dust is possible in the hopper. The lowest part of the auger near the back of the stove is where the most fines will accumulate. Consult your owner's manual for more information on cleaning fines, including fines which cannot be removed from the top of the hopper. Airtight seals at the ash pan, as well as the door and hopper lid openings, are crucial to proper stove performance. Any air leaks at these areas can not only cause a dirty, inefficient burn, but can also pose a serious safety threat. Because of this, gaskets should always be maintained in good condition. Consult your owner's manual for more information on checking gaskets for proper tightness.